welcome back to the Dark Moon podcast. Today we're going to take a deep dive into astrological transformation because it's very apt. Because Lilith, the aspect of Lilith in astrology, went into Scorpio on the 27th. So we're going to have a look at that. How does these hidden forces shape our lives? Now, you can say that astrology is just like the influences. It radiates out and it permeates our cells, and we are influenced subtly. And I've heard all the arguments, both with or without, whether astrology works in the first place. And an awful lot of it is like entertainment value. But you start looking deeper. Now, there was a partial solar eclipse the other day, and I'll cover that in another podcast. But these are hidden forces that are shaping our lives. And you can pay attention to them or you can just ignore them. But one way or the other, they are an influence. Now, Lilith is a very, very powerful influence to most women. Why? Because she's powerful. And a lot of women feel powerless. And the powerlessness is in us, as in our bodies are weaker. So when Lilith comes into Scorpio, which is a very different aspect so let's just go into it. So we're going to dive. It's a potent transformation placement. Lilith in Scorpio. Lilith is also often called the Black Moon Lilith. That's why, of course, I had to do a podcast on it. It represents the raw primal aspect of our psyche, the parts of our selves which are told to suppress suppress fear or reclaim. When placed into the intense and mysterious sign of Scorpio, Lilith takes on a journey through our depths of our emotions and spiritual transformation. So basically, if you're feeling raw, if you're not feeling raw and you're feeling normal, good for you. If you're feeling raw and basic, so this comes up with anger, fear, aggression, the dark side of the force. It's also desire, sexuality. And this is where we're looking at. It's uncovering hidden truths or reckoning with past wounds. Now, I'm all about dealing with your shadows. Dealing with them, bringing them out to the light so you can deal with them, so that you're not projecting, right? So Lilith is a prime shadow, right? And she is a beautiful, amazing creature that I have come to love most dearly because she transformed a lot of my shadows. Now, it's an archetype, a goddess, who knows? All I do know is that the aspect of Lilith is very real for many of us. So we're going to look at Lilith, and she's been called the untamed feminine. Now, there is an untamed masculine, obviously, equal and opposite. And I'm not saying one is greater than the other. I'm just saying that there are aspects of strength and weaknesses in both. But it's not a planet. It's a point in the lunar orbit. Symbolizing the dark and tamed feminine, the part of us that refused to conform. Please bring that forward. Let's not conform anymore. Let's not wear things that we don't want to wear. If it's uncomfortable, let's not wear makeup. Let's not fake stuff. This is raw basis of who you are, and it celebrates your rawness. In mythology, Lilith was the first woman. Now, this is all very basic stuff, but she was created as Adam's equal. I wouldn't want to be equal to a man. I'm far better than that. No, that's not true. I'm different from a man. So equal is a trigger word, because nobody's equal to each other. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. Nobody's the same. So if we're all different, then who's taking the marker of what's equal or not? So she refused to submit and was cast into exile, becoming the symbol of independence, sexual power, and rebellion. Astrologically, Lilith shows where we reclaim our power and confront what was denied. It reveals our hidden desires, the wounds society asks us to repress, and the raw, unfiltered truth of who we are. Now, I'm British. My country has been suppressing all of that. Suppressing its hidden desires on the wounds the society has asked us repressed in Britain is ridiculous. Okay, there is so many societal repressed wounds. It is like leaking now. We have, as a collective in Britain, suppressed so much that it's pouring all over the place, and it's throwing up and down the walls, and it is a mess because this is suppressed shadow coming to bite us on our ass, basically. So what is Lilith in Scorpio? It's the shadow's awakening. What happens when Lilith enters Scorpio, a sign ruled by Pluto, planet of death, rebirth, and transformation? Whoa! Basically, the shit hits the fan and is splattered everywhere. Shadows can't be avoided anymore. We have to look at it. We have to see it for what it is and embrace it and become one with it and say, yes, that happened. We start healing the wounds. Scorpio is the sign of deep emotional waters, psychological excavation, and the raw power of metamorphosis. When Lilith moves through Scorpio, the shadows become unavoidable. So we're going to break this down. This is like really intense emotional stuff. This is why I said, if you're not feeling this, just open up a bit. Just feel the flow and the energy that is flowing right now. It is intense, right? People, you watch it in their eyes. When their eyes flicker side, and you see a lot of the whites of their eyes, they're going through intensity. So this placement demands emotional truth, right? There's no room for half-truth or avoidance or superficial. If you have Lilith in Scorpio in your birth chart, you're basically collectively, we're all experiencing it with you, experiencing the transit. So you've got to notice this, like you might be a little bit hypersensitive, just a little tiny bit sort of sensitive to emotional undercurrents. So when someone says something to you, just be aware your emotions could flare, could be triggered. Oh, they all hate me, nobody loves me, all of that stuff. The pull towards uncovering buried desires, secrets, and hidden motivations. Now, an awful lot of that is basically ego stuff. And once you start looking at it, you see that there's nothing there. It's also like, you can be I love chocolate, but there's a part of me that hates chocolate, right? And the reason I love chocolate is that it was given to me as a reward when I was a kid. Here, have chocolate. You're a good girl. Well done. Here, have a bit of chocolate. So whether I do love chocolate or whether my desire for chocolate is just for the reward and the feeling good part, and I've just put the two together, and now as an adult, I feel good when I'm eating chocolate. Works away with desires. This is all desires, including sexual ones. Now, this may be a bit of an adult topic, and I'm not going to go into it deeply, but if you have kinks or fetishes or desires that are a little bit out of the ballpark, just take a look at them, because how much of that was inflicted on you, right? Psychologically programmed. These are shadows, right? These are your shadow sides, and they are intense emotional reactions. Basically, they can sometimes erupt, and suddenly you're just surrounded by it. And it's a matter of sitting with it and not reacting and trying to undo what was done to you, undo to your programming. So I'm going to use the chocolate analogy because it's probably safer than some of the sexual topics. But if I sit with a bar of chocolate and look at the ingredients and really feel the burn, if I eat it and I feel the burn, feel what really chocolate is. Feel the burn and intensity of, and basically I'm just getting a sugar hit. I really am. And the sugar hit is fine, but I can do it naturally and without the after effects of feeling slightly nauseous. You kind of unpick it and take it apart. And that is uncovering the buried bits and finding out what is real. So you also will be the increased ability to sense deception. There's an awful lot of deception on social media. It's a good time to go on it and think, yep, that's bullshit, that's rubbish, that's a load of rubbish, that man is lying, that government is lying. And with Lilith in Scorpio, it just doesn't feel the emotions, it consumes them, because Lilith is the ultimate vampire. So you can just draw them in and transmute them. Now, a lot of my vampiric knowledge comes from taking something inside, transmuting them, and then bringing them out reborn in something that is clean. So the power and transformation. So Scorpio rules power dynamics. Who has control and who submits? Power dynamics happen everything. It happens between me and my cat, my dog, partners, work people, all of that. Power dynamics. I will submit where it's necessary, but in other places, I'm not going to. I'm going to take. I will take the dominant role. So you just start to question it and look at it. It challenges authority, questions norms, reclaims personal sovereignty. We are desperate for that. It's like they're trying to take away, they as in governments, other people, systems, taking away personal sovereignty. And if wounds around power, it forces us to confront them. It's whether they're controlling, misusing. This time Lilith in Scorpio says it's time to say, no, I'm not going to be controlled that way. Psychological excavation. Psychological can't get my words out. I write this down and I still can't pronounce it. Psychological excavation and shadow work. So it's excavating as in archaeology. It's a powerful guide for shadow work. The process of facing and integrating the parts of ourselves that we repressed. You know, I think it's Jordan Peterson who said something about sort of a harmless person. It's not some. We're not harmless. If all these people and all these institutions are taking their time to repress us and push us down, why are they doing that? Because we're not harmless. So this placement invites us to unearth old traumas and release them, and do it constructively without self-destruction. Because we're very good at the self-destruction and self-sabotage, recognizing patterns of emotional self-sabotage. In other words, we screw ourselves. Accept and integrate the darker aspects of our psyche instead of fearing them. Do not fear yourself. Yes, we're not harmless, and the first person we often take it out on is ourselves. We screw ourselves over, and that is a scary process. The idea is to sit with him and don't act until you are ready, until you are clean. So it's not a time to go and binge, basically. It's a time to maybe fast and show control, show discipline, honor, all of that to yourself, to your shadow self. It's a profound psychological alchemy. I love being the alchemist. The alchemist inside of me, I take all the darkness, the fear, the grief, the anger, all of the negatives, and I take it in and I breathe it into my stomach, and I transmute it, change it into power for myself, over myself. And it's an awesome process. It's big, and sometimes it overwhelms me and I get a little bit jittery, but it's a profound psychological alchemy. It is uncomfortable, but the transformation of this is liberating. Take your negative emotions, take your negative thought forms, breathe them in, take them down to your stomach. Your stomach is not just a place for transforming food, but energies of all types. It takes in negative energy and transforms it, and you can move it around your body, and it becomes a power that it can energize you. You can use it. So, the potential impacts, how this energy manifests. How might you experience this placement, even personally or collectively? Let's explore some possibilities. Relationships. Okay, peoples. How you get on with peoples. You might experience deep, more intense emotional connections, or conflicts that force radical honesty. I had one of those the other day. Secrets may surface, and authenticity will be non-negotiable. Realness. Personal growth. Expect a stronger connection to your intuition, psychic sensitivity, and the unseen realms. Scorpio is the sign of the occult, so this is a powerful time for divination, magic, and energetic healing. Collective themes. As a society, we may see hidden truths emerge, scandals, power shifts, and the push for deeper emotional and sexual liberation. This energy challenges us to move beyond the surface level of conversations and face what's real. Well, as a society, things are coming clearer and clearer as we move through all of this. This whole cycle, I think, is stripping away the illusions of the past and actually dealing with them. So, I like the dark goddess within. As I said, I'm not one for gods and goddesses. Archetypes. Conscious. If an archetype of Lilith has been built up over hundreds of years, the idea of a powerful, untamed woman. And a lot of people fear this archetype. And we have formed our own goddess with it over the last, couple of thousand years maybe. And Lilith in Scorpio is not here to make things easy. It's to help make them true. This is an energy that asks us to reclaim ourselves, to stop fearing the depths of our emotions, and to step into our power with unwavering authenticity. So how do we work with this energy? Self-reflection, meditate, observe your emotional triggers, because that is the prime directive here, is observe it. Hold it for a little bit, breathe, and just let it go. It was just an emotional trigger. Do your shadow work. What patterns keep repeating? What emotions do you fear the most? Are you scared of yourself? Look at that. That's your red flag. Trust your intuition. This will be sharper than ever. So whether it's saying, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this, and this, but it's also going to give you the tools to do it. So you embrace the transformation. This energy is about rebirth. So allow the old versions of yourself just to dissolve. Just let them fade away. I'm on a boat. I'm looking out at the water as the canal goes by. And I've just breathed out all the negative energy into the rivers and into the canals and the waters. Waters is emotion. It's very good for imagining all your emotions that you don't need anymore, that you don't want to, you've looked at. It's time for it to dissolve and let it go. So this is an initiation. Lilith in Scorpio is an initiation into personal power. The question is, are you ready to embrace it? Thank you for joining me on this journey through Lilith in Scorpio. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. I really, really could do with the feedback. You can leave a review or a comment even if you're up for it. Share your thoughts on social media. You can find me at weavesofwaves.life. I'm on TikTok, I'm on X, I'm all in places. But I could do with some feedback, so help me on my journey here, please. Please check out the website, because that's building, and I'm getting very proud of it. It's really there. Yeah, there's some tweaks to do with it. So honor your darkness, embrace your power, and trust your transformation. Trust it, because Lilith actually is a very good hand holder, as long as you're moving through it. As soon as you stop, she may sort of jerk you to your feet, but she will be there for you. You won't do it alone. Trust yourself. Take care now. Bye now.